okay, so basically, we go from, we'll compare West to East. Because why? Because I like talking about Biggie Smalls and Tupac. Nah. Anyway, moving on. So basically, American animation. Sorry. Oh God. Anyway, I was talking about the rapper Dillhole. Anyway, well, you know, I wanted to bring to light the difference between cartoons and anime. Just for the simple fact, let's just start it off with this. Anime tends to have more of an emotional connection, more plot. Doesn't seem to run as long per season per se as some of the typical American animation, also known collectively as cartoons. Granted, there are a few that tend to get a little bit more in depth into plot and emotion. But no, normally on the American side, we like to try to keep it lighthearted, kid friendly. Nothing too incredibly difficult to follow. Just looking up here, you got on the cartoon side for America. Let's see, Avatar, Ben 10, Danny Phantom, Adventure Time, Freakazoid. I have no idea what the fuck that is. Gargoyles. Yeah. There's
Gargoyles, dude.
Which would technically be an exception to the lightheartedness and kid stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, but anyway, Gumball, Jake Dragon, some Asian bitch,
Impossible. Knows all this shit.
Let's see. There's Korra from Legend of Korra, which actually spun off from Avatar.
Great show.
Don't know that bitch. It looks like a remake of fucking Lion-O from goddamn Thundercats. Billy and Mandy.
Billy and Mandy was awesome. That is one of the exceptions that it was a kid show. But there was a lot of adult humor in there, and it was really good.
Well, along with Invader Zim, which is also on the bottom. Samurai Jack,
who was made by the guy who did the...
Jack was pretty good.
Just a little throw out real quick. Sorry for interrupting. Invader Zim was actually made by the guy who did the comic run Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, which is crazy that he went from such a dark, twisted, and very adult-only comic to a very kid-friendly, but still a lot of adult humor and sidestepping around the censorship.
And, then you get into, Samurai Jack, which actually kind of goes against the grain of what we technically think of when we think of a cartoon. That just for the simple fact that one has a good storyline, plot, and things of that nature. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the ones that I feel America had made that would almost rival some of the softer-sided anime, like Pokemon and things of that nature.
I got some shit for you later.
Oh. Anyway, and then we go over to the Japanese side where, that seems, there's more talk of demons and monsters and, there's just brutal things that can happen to people over there. I mean, Pokemon being the exception. I mean, I see Full Metal Alchemist, there's a Yu-Gi-Oh!, Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, another Yu-Gi-Oh!, Satch Bell, what is that, Shaman King, Fairy Tail, Naruto, Sailor Moon, Chim-Chan, or however the fuck you say that name, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, of course. I mean, there's tons and tons. I can go on all day naming different ones. I'm just trying to look at the picture and pull up some of the names in my head. But, keep trying to, damn, homie, can you die on your segment? Oh, shit, fuck, god damn it. Shit, fuck, I fucked this one up, too. Oh, well, fuck you, YouTube. Eat my asshole. Oh, alright, it's cool. Just go. Go. This is one of those things that on the left you'll see this typically running on a Saturday morning, one of these various shows here, and on the right you'll see this on Toonami, which Cartoon Network purposely brought in to try to push more of Japanese animation into mainstream and try to help us out, along with sci-fi, which we've mentioned previously before when somebody wanted to whisper anime after dark, and then Vodka Knockers is following it up by the anime your parents don't want you to know about. Sorry, I rewatched a few episodes ago. But anyway, yeah, this is just one of those things where it's like, yeah, if you want to giggle and you want something you can watch with your kids, you go to American animation. If you want something you can watch on your own and be like, dude, that was kind of disturbing, you go over to Japanese animation. I mean, I'm sure Remo can really attest to this. He also has children as well, and has probably sat and watched a bunch of the left and a bunch of the right on his own. So, any thoughts?
So one, to counter what you were saying earlier, yes, we tend to have more cartoony animation, but there's also a lot of good adult ones like Heavy Metal 2000, Felix the Cat, Family Guy, South Park, etc., Simpsons. That's more PG-13. There's even more adult-oriented ones, especially like on Adult Swim. But yes, ours tends to be more family-friendly because that's what we've been used to. But don't forget, we gave birth to anime. They took from our comics and from our cartoons and made their anime and then their manga. And there are some really good adult ones, like I said earlier. Like Heavy Metal, if you've never seen it, you have to see it. Felix the Cat, that is a...
They are pretty good.
Big social issues about the 70s and this and that, and it's pretty crazy, wacky, out there, and kind of trippy. And there's even more that I just can't name off the top of my head at this moment. But it is a very different dichotomy back and forth. Like I said, I've watched a lot of these with my kids, and even nowadays they tend to sneak in some really good for adults type humor that isn't too far that it's not a kid's show. What's it called? Steven Universe and Awesome Whatever. That is a really good fucking show. I know it's a kid's show, but I watched it with my girls. That's really good. And Billy and Mandy, dude, that is like just up there. And I forget how you say it right. It's right over there on the anime section. It's all the way on the right, and it's the fourth one down. Shichen, I think it's called. That's like the Japanese version of The Simpsons, basically. Just even more fucked up humor. There are some great correlations and some great differences. And it's said that in the Western world, we kind of look down upon cartoons. I'm seeing that start to change a lot more lately, especially with how Adult Swim ran with Metal Apocalypse, and like one of my favorite ones, which was The Adventure Brothers, which was awesome. It's starting to change a little bit, and a lot more adults are watching the cartoons with their kids nowadays. They can sneak that humor in. Like, who remembers Batman the Animated Series where they snuck in the phrase, Harley Quinn's in basically a nightgown sexual outfit.
It's a teddy.
Yeah, and she sneaks up, yeah, but it's like a see-through one. And she sneaks up on the Joker and is like, come on, why don't you come over here and ride this Harley pudding?
Rev up your Harley.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like...
Shit, what was I about to say? Oh, I believe Sailor Moon actually had a remake, not too long ago that was actually, they were trying to blend the two cultures, which actually brought this to my attention the other day, where they were trying to make it a little bit more lighthearted, but they were also trying to keep the original Sailor Moon, which is it's like damn near word for word from the 2 episodes I watched of it. So,
Yeah.
that's one thing to start looking out for that, might actually start popping up.
Well, here's something.
I was just gonna say, I really have to agree with you with like Heavy Metal 2000 and stuff like that. There are a lot of and South Park and
Sausage Party.
Yeah, American Dad and Family Guy and stuff like that. There are those more adult themed American animations, but the number of cartoon, if you will, to adult humor cartoons are totally outweighed.
Very true. And what I was going to say is like, and you have to understand something. Japan started from the same place we did. They took from our cartoons and comics and made anime and manga, and they started off with things like Astro Boy. They had Devilman, which I'm not talking about the 80s one. I'm talking about the 1950s one, which was super childish to a degree, looked like Astro Boy, very lighthearted, and it wasn't until the 80s and after their Speed Racers and this and that they get darker, more mature. And that was because they didn't have Hollywood like we have here in America. They didn't have the money, the resources, and a lot of the studios to make big production movies and this and that and television.
Yeah.
So they went the route of animation. It was cheaper, easier to do. You can make a beautiful art style, tell a crazy story that you couldn't do with live action. And that's why there's such a different dichotomy. But America is slowly starting to change like that, just from the simple fact, like you said, like Adult Swim, all the things going on with that, Family Guy, this and that. Sausage Party, which just came out now, like it's starting to go that route again in America. And we had some crazy ass animation back in the 70s and 80s too. And don't forget, we had like Aeon Flux and the stuff that was on MTV, like Beavis and Butthead. So hopefully we start to see a little bit more of that come the Western way. And it looks like it has been for the last few years and is going that way.
I mean, yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but you can definitely see where the influence is really for the longest time, they wanted to keep the American animation where you could tell, oh, well, this is definitely American. Well, you're starting to see where, it's starting to pour over, and not just because of the what's the subject of Samurai Jack, but the art style, and how they did big, beautiful open scenes, or the post-apocalypse type of shit like that too. Where in an anime, you can have your two main characters standing in the middle of the screen, but all around them, they purposely draw this big, beautiful scene too. I mean, you don't get that a lot in cartoons. I don't I don't know why I keep doing the air quotes. You guys can't see them, but fuck it. I'm doing them anyway. But, you don't get that really in those kind of, shows and stuff like that. But,
Yeah.
I mean, you can see where the subtle influences are starting to pour in. But,
Well, see, and don't forget, like, that big scope is what we used to get in Disney movies, and that's what, it's not called Toyo. You know the company that did, like, Spirited Away and does Princess Mononoke, like, that is the Japanese version of Disney now, and they took their cues from Disney from back in the day. And there is starting to become that dichotomy, because, like, what's that show? You and me have talked about it, like, 100 times. The Seven Deadly Sins. That is a Japanese story, but produced and made by Americans, but with Japanese... It was a very... coalition type of show put together between Americans and the Japanese, and it turned out beautifully. It was definitely done in the Japanese art style and of the Japanese story, but with American funding, American resources put into it, which made it one of the more beautiful, deeper, richer animes out there. And Netflix did that all on their own.
I mean, I really like. I don't know. It's hard for me to pick a side. I mean, I don't really like watching any of the kids' cartoons that are going on right now as much as I did one before, like Billy and Mandy, um, Samurai Jack, and all of those.
Puffy Amayumi.
Dragon Ball Z has always been my favorite. Um, but at the same time, I think like, for me, it's one of those things. It's like it's like we're trying to have a contest, but there really isn't one. Um, I just think there's like better stories coming out through Japanese anime than there have been with current cartoons that that we've come out with. Like, for instance, you guys had mentioned Family Guy. Does that even have a story?
No.
Like, it's just nonsense. And I know, like, I know there's some Japanese anime that's like that, but it's not like everyone. Like, we have Simpsons and Family Guy, American Dad, the Cleveland Show when that was on.
That's all stuff.
And it just seems like that's all that we've been really known for, is that these stupid comedies that really don't make sense. I mean, Samurai Jack was good. Don't get me wrong. That was really amazing. That was a really good one, and I'm really sad that it's gone. And it's one of the few that actually had like a really good story to it.
Check out Heavy Metal and Heavy Metal 2000.
Because let's think about it. Billy and Mandy was also good. I mean, it had a really good basis. You know, the Grim Reaper couldn't kill these kids even if he wanted to. But other than that, it was just nonsense.
Yeah.
Like Full Metal Alchemist that's from Japan. Love it. Absolutely.
See, and I think the dichotomy is Japan had a lot more better storytelling, and
one that came from a manga, but I think was actually made because it came from Netflix, is the Seven Deadly Sins. So I'm not sure if we made. What?
Yeah, we brought the
Season 2 confirmed. 7 Deadly Sins coming this November.
When is that?
November 1st.
Yeah, we can't wait for that.
Good. That's a good one. I mean, I guess that technically goes for America, but it was a manga first, and the manga's already done. So
definitely check out.
I mean, there's like, it's one of those things where it's like if you want silly and stupid, you'll watch American Dad, Family Guy, stuff like that. And if you want to watch like serious stuff, you'll watch, Full Metal Alchemist, stuff like that. Cowboy Bebop. Oh, God, I missed that show.
That was such a great show.
Rewatched it.
Yeah, same here. After we did that, I went back and rewatched all of it after that topic. The sad thing is, America was going in a different direction in the 80s, and late 80s into the early 90s, and we completely reverted back. And hopefully with Sausage Party, it takes that into a whole different direction again that we were heading into. Definitely Monkey Paws to get an idea of what America can do with its animation. Check out Heavy Metal and Heavy Metal 2000. Ask fucking you will love it. And that actually influenced a lot of Japanese animation. It actually influenced a lot of Japanese animation at the time too.
Just real quick to interject, another one that is an American made, and I'm willing to say it's animation, and it's not so geared towards making you laugh like Monkey Paws was saying. Steven Universe. I've only watched a few episodes with my kids, but I kind of when they're on, I'm like, hey, this isn't too bad. I can get behind this.
Deep story to that fucking show.
Yeah.
I've watched that with my kids, and there is an actual very long-running deep story from when his mother died to what's going on, to him, his father, to the girl he likes, to the people just around him protecting him, and they each have their own deep, rich story. Yeah. And even the music for that show is fucking awesome, dude.
Well, and that's what kills me with when this argument always comes up, no matter what form you're in, no matter what you're doing, you're gonna find this one argument about West versus East animation versus cartoon, and it's like watch that series to the point it is right now, and bring in your favorite anime, what you think is the best anime, and then start to duke it out that way, because that show is actually really good. And I was surprised to find out that it's being categorized underneath cartoon, and the continuous story and plot, and how it seems to just take deep in episode. Yeah, and I enjoy that. But also like Monkey Paws was saying, though, a lot of times if we want something more serious, something darker, something more gritty, we have to go over to go east and get it from Japan. So it is what it is.
And that's just the economy. America in general, and that's why these exist, like all the sitcoms on TV and this and that, we generally like to take our entertainment, for most of us at least in America, and when we're having a hard time, this and that in life, we like to not think deeply, we like to just make ourselves laugh and have a moment of release and entertainment, while the Japanese, when they go to their entertainment, they like deepness. Well, a lot of Americans still like deepness, and it's there, and like I said, check out those animes before that also influenced Japanese animation, because Japanese, like I said, animation started out very cartoony, not serious, with the original Devilman, which thank God they made the 80s one, which I love to death, and Astro Boy and Speed Racer, but we're seeing a trend of us going back to our animation roots, because we were the first to actually kind of go deep and dark, and we're going back to that finally, and like Metalocalypse, good show, long-running storyline and plot. Yes, it was humor-based, but that show got dark, serious, and
Well, just real quick to interrupt you, fucking, what is it, Row 4, Your Last Damn Picture by Carmageddon's Melon, Chin-Chan or whatever, that is probably the dumbest, no, I can't stand that fucking thing, and it came out of fucking Japan. It is probably dumber than more than half the shit that's over here, with the exception of like 3 or 4. Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, somehow this fucker has gotten like 6 movies, 39 seasons. The shit just keeps fucking going. But
like The Simpsons?
Yeah, fucking Simpsons are the only thing on Earth that's older than REMO, or at least anything that's been mentioned in this.
Fuck you, dude.
It's the only thing older than he is in this fucking discussion right now. But anyway.
No. There's a few things older.
Oh my.
Speed Racer. The original Devilman and Astro Boy.
Okay.
Those got me by 30. So
I was about to say they got you, yeah, at least by 30. But no, I mean, it, like I said, this debate always comes up, and I just want to point out, like that's it's been mentioned before. We try to laugh more and have more release in our life, where the Japanese are more of a serious culture that we kind of fucked with in the early 1800s by sending missionaries there and going,
we
"They're
basically
gonna tell ya,
we
it's
basically
everywhere."
bombed their country. That's what most people don't know. Is the reason why they attacked Pearl Harbor and had such a beef with us. Is literally we went there with our battleships and bombarded Tokyo for I think 12 days until they opened up trade with us. Which I'm not saying what they did to Pearl Harbor was right and to do it secretively. That was a dick move on their part. But yeah, that's the whole reason why they did not like America into World War II.
Well, that's why you get the weird tentacle fucking porn, because we went over there and missionaries went over there and fucked everything up for everybody else.
Yeah, they were fucking. They had tentacle porn going back to the 1600s.
I know, but that's one way they can get around their censors. There's a video, I gotta show it to you. But anyway, when the missionaries went there and shit, it totally changed their whole outlook, and they've only really got to enjoy their perversion in the last couple hundred years.
yeah, but you have to admit the tentacle porn shit with squids have been around since like the 1500s. There is literally art blocks.
Oh, I know, I've seen it.
They've been wanting to fuck squids for a long time. Which is weird to the extreme. I'm sorry.
But, all I'm going to say is La Blue Girl changed how I looked at anime for my whole life. And then, New La Blue Girl New, or Second Coming?
Don't know.
Coming, or something like that. Yeah. And the sad part is I watched the whole fucking series with, not one crusty item near me, and went, oh my gosh, there's actually a story hidden underneath all this.
Dude, I don't even know what you're talking. Oh, it's a porn anime. No wonder why I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, oh, it's porn. Okay, gotcha.
Just Google all Blue Girl real quick. Make sure your door's shut and your kids.
See, and I was, oh god, I was about to ask you because there's an anime that I watched. I can't remember the actual name, but it's a really great anime, deep story, and it has this really cool visual art storytelling way of doing it, and music, and it's called Blues something blues, dark blues. I think I might have showed. No. It has like this blue jazzy theme. It's very bloody, very gory, but a very deep story.
I'll look it up.
Kind of post-apocalyptic. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. It's something blues, and it was, I think, Manga might have been one of the last ones Manga released. It was really good. You would definitely love the hell out of that. I need to find that again.
Nothing for me.
Yeah, because they're all going over to light novels now, aren't they? As from manga to light novels? Is that what you're saying in the last one that was manga?
No. Manga the company. Remember Manga used to release all the adult awesome anime? It was something like Dark Blues, something blues. It was this deep, dark, kind of post-apocalyptic story with a very bluesy, jazzy, like, soundtrack to it that was really awesome. Kind of like Cowboy Bebop. It was like a very, which is weird to say, but it was like a very more mature, dark, and serious Cowboy Bebop. Almost.
Not Blue Gender.
If you say the name, I'll know. Yes! I need to watch that tonight. That, you and Monkey Paws would love the shit out of that. Yeah, it's like Cowboy Bebop, but a lot more dark and a lot more adult-oriented. It is an awesome story. Yes, great music, great story, great art direction. One of the last few hand-drawn, beautiful art anime.